Hello, this is Mutant Epoch session 14, and we have a couple less players today. We're not going to have Clafus or Roko, or if Roko does join, it'll be much later. But we have our other cast in. We know that Nurse is maybe having some technical difficulties, some storms moving through his area. So, but we're gonna kind of grind through it as much as we can, anyways, because this is a little bit of travel. And passing through the Great Ruins with a group of Skullocks while hauling a dune crawler that they secured in the last session while being sniped at by a woman named Kane, who was a member of the Protectors, and two of her guard, which were androids. So that's where we left off. And so I'm going to switch this. Go ahead.
You guys can hear me now?
Yep, yeah. We can hear you. Yeah.
He's alive.
Yep.
God, I had a really fucking horrible storm at the moment. Oh God. It's like not stopped yet, but like we had some huge ass hail. It's like holy shit.
I believe it. Again, Midwest. It's wild wilderness.
Oh God.
Summer hail. Never seen it before, and I hope I never do.
Oh God.
We have ice storms in the winter.
I think I'd rather have that than
yeah, I would.
Just a blizzard.
Yeah, I would definitely rather have. I'll keep my blizzards and potential hurricanes over just the golf ball sized hail. I like my truck. I don't need it to just be a wreck.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's not golf ball sized, but it is really well sized. I was actually slightly worried for my windows.
Yeah, I don't need to be brained by the sky.
Slamming in. Yeah, it was just slamming in. We're just like, oh God.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need to walk outside and get just freaking punched by air. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
So the sky attacked me. All right. So with the dune crawler secured, you have Kane. You guys have stabilized her. She is at negative. I think negative 3 hit points, and so she is stable, not bleeding out. And what are you using as binders? Does anybody have any fetters, or are you just using rope?
Yeah, I don't have anything special. Probably just rope.
You know she's got cybernetic legs. Is anyone going to do something about that?
Yeah, I'll disable them. Or Ned will.
Okay. Ned goes up and takes the battery.
Yep.
So add that to your inventory. It's a 50% normal size battery.
Sure.
So her legs are dead. She can't move. And she's unconscious. The Skullocks are busy at work, well, the half Skullocks, at the dune crawler, tearing into it, hooking it up. They bring up their horses. They got a bunch of ropes that they're attaching to it and trying to haul it down the hill. What do you guys do?
If they're hauling it, can Ned still kind of crawl in there and check out the engine and see how bad?
Definitely.
How bad the repairs are going to be?
Yep. So Ned can take an intelligence-based check, and
okay.
Ned, you're from an arcology that was actually still running like old world technology, possibly even creating facsimiles of that technology. And so this is going to give you a slightly better chance at understanding what you're looking at. So you already automatically, the moment you see it, you recognize that, okay, so this is not a this is a solid fuel engine. It's not a fossil fuel engine. And so it's like, okay, so this is going to need solid fuel rods in order to actually operate. And this is also a turbine engine. So if you can give me an intelligence check, DCC, or DCC, I did it again. Hazard check C. Which I think you got.
That probably makes. Yeah, I'm not sure, but I'll have to look at it.
Django begins this. You can tell us that too. Django begins dismantling the turret.
You were in the middle of dialogue, so yeah. I'll be dismantling that turret that Colonel was dealing with.
He is firmly attached to that thing.
See if I can get it off for you and make it work.
How much ammo did it have?
Yep. I definitely made the C.
Okay. So with the C, you know that
58%.
the engine itself is actually in pretty good shape. It's got a little bit of damage to the intake, and one of the there's a gas pressure exchanger that's over by the rotary system that is cracked, and that is going to seriously reduce any kind of horsepower that it could create. But it doesn't mean that it won't turn on. It'll turn on,
Okay.
and as long as you keep the engine, like, you don't stress it too much, it should be able to move with assistance. It'll certainly make it a lot easier to get it over hills and stuff like that if it can give some power to the tracks.
Okay.
But it's going to require
don't-
some welding.
Yeah. So, do they have any of that kind of equipment? Because I don't have welding gear.
Yeah, one of them does have a laser torch. Do you have a mechanical?
I do. 4.
Okay, so you have a better mechanical skill than they do. They're running at 2.
Okay.
And so they'll probably have you go in and actually, like, make, if you volunteer for it, because you can see one of the guys who's got
Yeah.
his kit and system. Yeah.
Yep. I'll bring it up. I need to practice it anyway so I can raise it more. So
Yeah. So you take the hour, you weld shut that the gas exchanger. There's a
Yep.
little bit of problem with one of the exhaust systems being plugged up, which
okay.
is uncovered. Again, because of your expertise, you uncover it before there's a catastrophic failure.
Okay.
Because it would have been put in place as a fail-safe if somebody had tried to steal it.
Ah.
Just like it would have been a choke. It would have disabled the vehicle instead of destroying it.
Okay.
Other than that, you do discover inside of it something of the old control board station. Still works on it as an analog. And so you can see whoever was in here last had gutted most of the digital systems and had re-rigged them into an analog into analog systems. You have direct control of steerage. You can control each of the tracks with levers. You could engage all the different gear systems, and this was all crudely put in. That being said, the old digital interface system is actually on the ground still under the like where the dashboard would have been, like underneath the crew seats.
That?
And it's all just a mangled shit fuck of wires and aluminum boxes, hard drives, and terminal and interfaces.
Okay. Well, it might be better to keep it analog then.
Yeah, analog does prevent it from being remotely hacked or being interfaced with any kind of system, like old world systems that would have been used to disable it.
Right.
Like, and now it's pretty much immune to those.
All right.
It just takes some skill and time to get used to it. You know, can't find it, grind it, right?
Right. Well, I got drive 1 at least, so
Yep.
that should help some.
So you're able to get it up into, and within an hour, you're able to get this thing crawling, literally and figuratively.
Right.
And with the assistance of the great horses that they brought with them and some heavy chains, they're able to get this thing up to a good walking speed. It is loud as fuck, though. And it's not the motor. The motor is actually quite quiet. Being a rotary, rotary engines typically aren't hugely loud, unless they have like really bad exhaust systems. This is not too loud. And with the with the welding that you've already done to it, you're able to keep that vibration to a minimum. It's the tracks grinding against all the rubble that makes all the damn noise.
Ah, sure.
But you can see this thing out in the open prairie somewhere rolling around. Nobody would hear this thing coming on to them until it was well within its turret's range.
Nice.
And it's got a low body profile too. You can see how like its angled plates would make it ideal for taking shots from the front and just having them deflect off the surface. Now, its original turret was a smaller caliber. It's not a tank turret by any means.
Okay.
But it can definitely it looked like it fit something around a 30 millimeter at one point. A flechette round. You see a couple of the old casings in the inside that are rusted. They're ruined at this point. They have the blasting caps are long since gone, but they're inside a storage rack on the inside where they would have been used for loading. And it's like, and you can recognize flechette rounds.
Sure.
So, yeah, anti-infantry would have been used to, or anti-robot, just sent out to just scatter and destroy a whole swath in front of it. Now, going over to Django, now you've got that cannon that you were dismantling Kane's cannon?
No, I was dismantling the what I believe to be the 50 cal that was rigged up.
Okay,
on
so the
an
rigged up
automated
50.
sensor.
Yeah, so that is a typical 50 cal. It's just been attached to a robotic system.
Roger that.
So
Basically, I'm just unattaching it,
Yeah.
checking it for damage. Once I've got it in the clear, I'm passing it to Colonel, and then I'm going to disassemble the armature to see if we can salvage it for scrap.
So that thing, that load assistant, sorry, that assistant firing mechanism, that's going to come into 30 pounds of, or sorry, 30 kilograms of robotic salvage.
Okay.
It is essentially a very primitive robotic arm with an optical sensor, also very primitive. It can't think for itself. It has to be aimed and shot by another operator.
Yep. And then after that, I will salvage what's left of the androids and make sure to throw them into the dune crawler so that we can take them back to town with us.
Yep. Androids have a typical weight provided by their scale, which I have somewhere in here for GM and table area. I'm pretty sure I printed out androids for at least my own usage. No, of course I didn't. I did it for typical humans, but I didn't do it for androids for some reason. Because I like.
What models are you looking at?
I'm bringing them up right now.
Okay, because I'm already.
These
on
are
the page.
combats. So 133
Combat
kilograms.
Yep. Okay. Dope. Still below 300 pounds. Yeah. Worst case scenario, I'm not going to carry them down from their towers. I'm just going to kick them off and let them drop on the ground.
Yeah, they're busted anyways. Thankfully, none of them
And
exploded.
they've got armor plating.
Yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, salvage whatever I can. If there's any mechanical components we can get off of those freaking cars that the thing was sitting on, why not?
Yeah.
Have the Skullocks take whatever parts they need, you know what I mean? They have better eyes for mechanical, so does Ned, so at this point it's like, make sure you go through all of those. If we're already here, don't want to make another trip back.
The Skullocks, they're most interested in the bolts that were used to actually hold up all of these platforms. And they start stripping them out immediately. They're taking those platforms apart for anything that's good metal, salvageable steel, things of that nature, and they're loading them up on the dune crawler. But they're trying not to go too heavy with it. And like there's discussions about taking down like the whole area of the parking lot as salvage. But they're like, no, the dune crawler's too heavy for the horses. We can't overload it with we can't get greedy. We got to stay light and quick, or as quick as this thing can go.
Tear it all down and keep it to the side.
Now,
Worst case scenario, the next Joker that wants to use this has to put it all back together.
they agree to that. It'll at least make it a little bit safer to pass through for a little while.
And with any luck, if you guys can manage to come back out here again, you can always resalvage the parts.
So
we at least know a decent pathway, and we know how to make it safe.
it's true. So after an hour of going through all of the goods, you notice that some of the Skullocks are having an argument and they're holding a map and they're like picking out different directions of where to go. At the same time, the dune crawler seems to be set and ready, and a few of the Skullocks are starting to fan out into a Overwatch pattern in order to kind of like check the different flanks and approaches to see about like where they're going to be exiting at. Where do each of you want to go in this caravan arrangement?
I figure I'm in the crawler, or Ned is.
Good-hearted position.
It has or does it have an external turret mount?
It has the mount, just not the turret.
I'll stand in that so I can keep an eye out.
Yeah, how much room is in the game crawler? So like, shooting ports.
It does have shooting ports, yeah. Can't hear you very well though, Beans.
Oh no? Okay, sorry.
It's all right.
I did some science to my microphone.
Witchcraft.
Well, it's my gain for you was kind of low, so I'm going to turn you up a little bit.
Okay. Oh, I just turned mine up. How's that?
Good. Solid.
A lot better?
Yeah, a lot
Okay.
better.
right, I'll try to talk into the microphone. Yeah, Kurt, go inside. I guess I'll point the rifle outward somewhere.
All right, so that leaves a nurse.
Yeah, if people are willing, I'll be taking a look at her rifle, trying to understand what it's about.
Yeah, a lot of the Skullocks that want. No, nurse, you see those Skullocks? They're arguing about something at the front, like the head of the formation. They've got a couple maps out that they've rolled out onto some rubble, and they're pointing in different directions. The conversation's getting kind of heated.
I'll head over to the Skolok to see what they're talking about and see if I can try to diffuse it with not my greatest ability.
Right, so just as you're walking up, the conversation is revolving around going through somebody's territory, which they're calling Arachnox. Now, you're familiar with the term. Arach would be a breakdown of the word arachnid for spider, and nox, you know, is Latin for nighttime. So they're arguing about going through the territory of the night spider. And it seems like from the way that they're projecting their map layouts, that's the flattest route, is to go through this night spider's territory. And there's a lot of resistance coming from other members of the team for going through this territory. But it seems pretty plain, even with a cursory glance of the map, that not going through it means some really tall climbs, which the vehicle might not be able to survive.
I would like to ask him about this night crawler. Night spider. Thank you.
So they call her the Dreadweaver. There's a series of old world bridges that the ancients built in the area. It's a tunnel system that goes underneath a section of the city. It was cleared out a long time ago and then considered a big boon to any excavators coming through here because they could circumnavigate a stretch of the ruins and go under them. Unfortunately, soon after the tunnel was discovered and cleared, Arachnox moved in. And the area has been a death trap ever since. The only way through is through her tunnels. People have come through them. They do survive it. Some people don't even think Arachnox is even there anymore. Whereas whole excavating teams have gone through and never come out the other side. So it's
not good.
Yeah, so it's really just not known whether or not she is still alive. She's been down there for 10 years.
That's an amount of time.
Big old spider.
I'm gonna quickly talk around the other party about this and get on their opinion. I personally think that we should do it, given less chance of getting the vehicle fucked up because we really need this vehicle. 2, we really need to. I believe we would be able to fight this creature, and yeah. So, I'm gonna ask around the party and see what their opinion is first.
I mean, it's just a spider.
That'll say, we killed spider before. Big spider.
Got like 3 of them, man.
Lots of little spiders too.
Yeah.
Little as in dog-sized.
Django sees no problem with this whatsoever.
At the very least, maybe
we don't even get jumped. Oh, go ahead.
As at the very least, Beans can talk to you.
This is true.
He likes shaking hands.
Yeah, Nurse will go back to the others and communicate the party's wishes that we will be willing to chance the tunnels.
Well,
given we believe it is the safer option. And
if you're willing to
Willing to
defend the
risk it.
caravan, they're willing to take the risk to go. And they start off on that direction. Teams are corralled up, everyone is put into a formation, and the trek back to Pitford is begun.
Can I switch out with Thud then? And
Hugely, yeah, by all means.
yeah, I'm gonna have him be prime for me for caravan defense, especially since Ned's driving.
I'm uploading a piece of art. All right. Over the next hour, you come across areas of the Great Ruins that have been cleared. There's boulevards where a lot of the rubble has been removed in order to allow passage of vehicles to go through. It's the old excavator route in and out of the city. This spot is usually used to be heavily trafficked by excavators coming in and out, and the protectors typically weren't able to keep any foothold here because there would be so many excavation teams coming in and out. Again, no longer the case. And you can see that the ruin itself is being taken over by the plant life that is abundant throughout the Great Ruins. Kudzu vine that has taken over entire buildings. When you finally come up to the tunnel, you recognize it first by the old green signs that have been repainted with crude symbols to identify where the tunnel entrance is going to be. And a lot of the half skulls with you fan out in different directions to kind of check all the angles before just starting to bring this dune crawler down into the dark. There's a lot of moisture coming up from this area, and there's a lot of green. You can see the vines have overtaken the majority of the bridge and tunnel system, along with trees that are popping up all over the area. What would have been old roads and an on-ramp. Thankfully, there's no huge buildings immediately around it that give like a lot of line of sights down towards this, and you're shielded by the other bridges around you. But there's no evidence of any animal life passing through here. And it is dark, with only a few shafts of light poking down from above. You're going to be descending down into it, and each of the Skullocks is looking around with naked fear about going into the Dreadweaver's domain.
I think I've got like a headlamp on my riot helmet.
Yeah, you
I'm
would.
I turn that on and use that at least to illuminate my line of sight, and hopefully scan around and provide an ability to see for those that don't have dark vision, which is most people.
I'm gonna hop out of the turret and offer it up for Thud, since it'll be a high position. He can rest his chain gun on it,
Sure.
and he'll be able to, that light will be a lot more effective up there. I'll walk out in front of the dune crawler a bit.
Beans will walk beside the crawler, I guess, with his
Beside
horse,
it. All right.
shotgun in hand, and he'll give a little bit of encouragement to the Skullocks. Come on, friends, don't fear. You have nothing to fear but fear itself.
A couple of them chuckle at that. Yeah.
Funny.
Had a few people call me Fear.
You don't look very fearful.
Also, good God, what is that thing?
Jeff.
That's
Fun time.
No, they call me Bean.
they call it beans.
My name's actually Bean Sprout.
Yeah, you keep telling us that. We keep ignoring it.
Bean Sprout Junior Esquire, I believe is the full title.
So,
I like the sounds of that. He's wearing the Conquistador breastplate.
oh, very nice. So you come across your first cocoon. It is
All right.
man-sized, tightly woven, and suspended from the ceiling. You have 50 meters on either side of you of open terrain with concrete columns that are stained with water and beginning to crumble. The ground itself is relatively clear of debris, except for a few spots where chunks of concrete have fallen from the ceiling and scattered all over the place with little tiny stones. You don't see anything else when the yellow beam of your light passes back and forth through an area of just long shadows and just this one suspended body.
Do I think it at all feasible to use my compound bow and an arrow to try to cut it down? Like, how thin of a strand is holding the cocoon up? Or is there multiple strands?
There's one thick cord that is about wrist sized that is anchored to the ceiling that's holding it there. And you can feasibly shoot it out. Right. You don't have to make a check, just whether you expend the shot or not.
I'm going to expend the shot.
Spidery. Beansprout scans of anything thoughts that feel spidery.
Like, any thoughts that are super about kung fu and...
Yes.
Ha 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 ha.
Knitting.
Kung fu. There is an intelligence under here, and it is large. The moment you start stretching your emotions out to touch things around you, you have an overbearing presence. You are a small fish next to a very large whale. And it's in here, but you just can't say exactly where.
Guys, I don't feel good about this one.
Everywhere. And Beans, since you were the first to reach out, the shot snaps off, and I need from Beans a Type C willpower based check as something pushes back. Ooh, got it.
Pretty good roll.
Ooh.
An intelligence tried to invade your mind. You felt its alien presence. And not alien as in different, alien as in not human.
Yeah. The spider's trying to get inside my mind.
Somebody tie up Bean.
Thank you. Oh God, I'm glad you said it.
It's telling me things. I'm not sure if I should listen.
Yeah, you definitely shouldn't listen, but we'll tie her up anyways.
So, somebody tie up Beans. Thank you so much for that. I was like, if he doesn't say it, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna have one of the Skullocks say it. It's like, somebody tie him up.
Leave me with my shotgun, though.
Yeah, well, you got your mind tricks. You don't need a shotgun. Cocoon his ass.
So you resisted this invasion. It was just a touch. It wasn't very forceful yet.
Okay.
It was doing the same thing you do when you project your emotions into something else's mind.
Oh, you remember how I had that encounter with the thing that was a lot like Roko, but bigger? I think we found something that's like Beans, but bigger.
And spidery.
I'm gonna go ahead and start doing some tracking checks to see if I can identify where, if anywhere, that it's been moving mostly, so we can try to avoid it.
Go for it.
Okay. I take it that'll be for pickup trail?
Yeah, pick up a trail.
Sweet. Type check.
Got tie me to the front of the dude
Nice.
collar.
Aw, you're gonna be like the ship mascot.
Be like,
Just screaming, spiders! Spiders in my mind!
There
be
he
like
goes.
Mad Max 2 with the people that they brought back.
Yep.
Seems like a good roll.
Yeah. Type B, I think it's 99% for me. So, we should be good.
You find your first track, several legs, skittering in a pattern along a line. And when you pace them out, the width of the creature is 12 meters.
Wow.
No, they weren't kidding about it being big.
How does that compare with the giant spider that Thud shot up before?
Twice the size of that.
Twice the size. Nasty.
This thing has an incredibly long gait. It's easily able, with this size and with this many legs, you have no frame of reference of how fast it can even go.
Too fast.
I decided to go with the identifying the weight of the prey as well, given the size, value, and whatnot.
Well, if you're predicting split between 8 legs and you take a look at each of them, your guess is anywhere between 700 kilograms to 1,000.
I'll make sure people know that.
Skippy.
That is a ton.
Has a lot of spider.
I'm gonna try to compare their map with the trajectory of the tracks. Like, see if our direction is coinciding with it.
So the channel that you're in is the widest, because it's the one that's the most easily accommodates the dune crawler. And the widest tunnels are most likely the ones that this is going to transverse through, given its size. There are some other tunnels that are smaller, used for non-commercial vehicles. The dune crawler might be able to fit through them if there is no debris, but there's nothing on the map indicating that those tunnels were ever cleared out.
Right. Well, right now, this thing doesn't seem to be in motion, so there is a chance that it's actually nesting in an offshoot tunnel. I'll also be keeping tabs of the amount of tension wires that we've run across.
What kind of light source do you have?
For me, a lantern.
Lantern. So, Thud, you've got your the body that you shot down from above.
Yep.
Taking a look over it again, it is man-sized, wrapped up tightly in a very thick cord silk. What do you do with it?
For now, I'm just gonna toss it on the back of the crawler and try to secure it a little bit so that we can investigate it later.
It's not sticky when you pick it up.
Sticky.
Yeah, the silk isn't sticky at all.
Do I sense any movement within it?
No, whatever's in there is stiff as a board.
Okay.
It's fairly light too. You wouldn't expect something of this size to be as light as it is. It's like the best you can think of is like something that's been completely dried out. It doesn't have any dead weight.
I figured it'd been desiccated, so
Yeah.
all the water weight's gone.
So that's tossed up to the dune crawler, and the other Skullocks are looking at it with unease as they hand their weapons back and forth. You can hear nervous chatter, shaky hands, metal on metal clatter as they're jumping at every little shadow, every little squeak of a mouse.
Is there any type of check or skill that would be useful in boosting morale?
Yeah, there would be.
What would that be?
That is a negotiation check.
Not something Thud is good at.
You could still attempt it. And he doesn't have to use the exact stats that are provided from negotiation. You could use your physical presence, like just your mass, your size, your strength.
Okay, I'll attempt to do that. Shouldn't
Beans get a roll on that?
Yeah, Beans can do it with his own emotions.
I gave him a pep talk earlier. I gave him the whole thing though. Yeah.
This is a spider eating into their brain though.
Yeah. There's nothing fear. You can only eat one brain at a time.
That's a great pep talk.
It's got 8 legs, but it's only got 1 mouth.
They are so soothed by that.
Yeah, I bet.
I'll go first. How about that? Stand behind me.
Do you want
We
to?
strapped you to the front of the thing, so you are going first, kind of.
Are you scanning any of the Skullocks, their emotions?
I'm trying to project courage into them.
Yeah. So that's going to happen. That's going to pick up because they're going to automatically fail their save for that and allow that to interrupt and go into them. But I was saying, are you? Yeah, they want to be comforted because there's something else in there.
Oh, they know more than we do.
No, something else is in their brains.
Oh.
Something's projecting fear, like you're trying to project courage.
I don't think Beans picks up on.
You pick up on like panic response, and you can hear the hands. You know that sound when you're holding a rifle and the hands are shaking. You have that metal on plastic clatter, like the fittings are coming loose.
Yeah,
you hear the straps jingling. That's what you're hearing. You're hearing shaky hands. You're hearing that incredible adrenaline spike. That's thundering blood through their veins. They're hyperventilating. And your projection of courage is calming them, but they're still at a very elevated state. Hypertension.
Yeah, the adrenaline leave their body instantly.
Yeah. So
Nothing does.
Whatever's doing this to them is creating a hypertension response, fight or flight.
You guys are jumpier than a spider.
Well, I'm still going to try to use my physical presence, as you mentioned, to turn and look at them and say, hold steady, Dud will handle. And just say it with utter confidence.
There you go. So instead of using intelligence and appearance, instead of using appearance, you could use your strength.
Okay.
So your strength, your willpower, and your intelligence.
I'm going to do some math.
Again, you're just this physical presence that's standing there like, yeah, fuck this spider, I'll rip its head off.
Giving off serious dad energy.
Yeah, serious dad energy. God, who's that? The Crack Bang guy. I was just listening to something of his earlier today. And that's his like favorite go-to comment is I'm gonna put out some serious dad energy here.
Yep, so the average is 62, so I'll roll.
Type C.
I don't know if even Type C will be made by that.
78% chance?
Oh, I made that.
Yeah, by 3.
By 3. Squeaked it out.
Yeah, squeak it out. You're good. I mean, you stand up there, you flex, you do what you do what you said, and Beans, you feel it. That is comforting. It's a physical presence. It's something they can see. Someone who's standing up and being the visible sign. And combined with your own projections, it's easing their fear. At the same time that this is happening, something attempts to invade your mind, Bud. Type C willpower check.
Alright. Let us see how that goes. Dun-dun-dun. Here we go.
Ooh.
Oh, look at that roll. Oh, wait. Yeah, I gotta change my
Slightly
moniker there.
Yeah, you feel it try to get into your mind to cause fear, to cause the fight or flight response, and you're able to just shake it off, completely ignore it.
Bud brain like rock. Nothing get in.
Yeah, good old rock. Nothing beats rock.
They say paper beat rock. I smash paper with rock. It tear real good.
So Beans, you feel the presence begin to pull back as it is not able to infect Thud. And for the next 45 minutes of transit, you feel almost nothing. There is just a quietness of the area, and you come to a point of a commercial lane and several non-commercial lanes splitting off from each other in a wide open what would you call that, off ramps. There is a massive series of spider webs that interconnect all along the non-commercial runways. There are small bodies hanging from the ceilings. There's wrecks and ruins that have been gathered here in some kind of strange altar. Yeah, Bud beat a type K with that roll. Yeah, he's like, get out, spider.
Unbothered.
But there is some kind of altar that's off to the left-hand side of this tunnel complex. Piled cars and debris and something resembling like a weird multi-limbed fetish. It's artistic. It has mud's been daubed on it to be different kinds of like paint. There's white ash that's been smeared across some areas of it. It has the rough resemblance of a teardrop.
I lost connection for a minute there. Any chance of Sancho coming forward and using that flamethrower he has? Or being the flamethrower?
I mean, I got a flamethrower. You guys can grab it if you want. I can do it. Hold on a sec. I mean, the spiderwebs are only blocking the off-ramps, not the main thoroughfare, right?
Yeah, not the main way. The main thoroughfare itself is still open. This is all those off-ramps off to the sides. All the
I misunderstood.
Yeah, the commercial access way is clear, but it's a strange fetish, and some of the Skullox are looking at it with obvious fear. They're like going near this thing or past it.
Django's gonna take a look at it.
Django, when you come over and take a look at it, you see that there is a small figure that's crouched down in front of this fetish. They're manipulating objects, moving them around, it seems. And she turns to look at you, and she has got very dark skin, pale eyes, and no hair. Utterly bald. She stands and stare at you, and she looks to be wearing something of a loose-fitted gray smock. She has very long limbs and delicate-looking fingers that are also very, very long.
I ease my hand on my handle, reach up, tilt my hat. Ma'am. First question, is the light offending you? Because I'm still holding my lantern.
She doesn't seem to take any reaction to the light, though her very large eyes, there's a small membrane that snaps across them once or twice. You see it only because there's a flicker of motion.
Right,
whatever she is, she isn't
human.
human.
You. No, clearly, not like I am either. How do, ma'am? Sorry to interrupt you. We was just passing through. Came to observe this intricate, I'm guessing, offering table right here. Am I under the right pretense?
So she turns and she looks at the offering area, and then she turns and looks back at you again. And she has a very small mouth. It's a little tiny circle at the just above her chin, and she makes a cooing noise out of it. Not words, but there's definitely a pitch. There's tonal corrections, and it carries pretty far.
Cooing sound. Does it sound like any form of avian dialogue?
It does.
Ah, good. I can respond as in kind.
You can mimic it. So Django mimics the cooing noise, and she halts and stares at him for a little bit more, and she starts to walk forward. Beans, you feel that presence tickling at the back of your mind. Take a type C willpower check against... But this isn't against something invading. This is something hiding.
Ouch.
Not this time. There was something there for the briefest moment. Like, again, that same sensation of you being a small fish and a whale moving underneath you, pushing the water around. Then it vanished.
Are tunnels natural habitat of birds? I don't know.
Tunnels are natural habitat of what?
Of birds?
No.
Not particularly. May have
What's
a
she
nesting
doing in here?
spot. Since she doesn't seem to react to my cooing as in terms of like some form of dialogue, I'll try hand gestures and pantomimes. And I'll try to generally convey like what offering and like point to the tray and whatnot.
She begins to walk towards you. Type E perception check.
Let's see, what is my type?
Django's got a really high perception.
90% chance. Alright, let's roll. Alright, got it.
She's not moving right. Her limbs and her legs aren't moving in the right sequence or order. It's like she doesn't have any bones.
This is a puppet.
The moment you realize it, Beans, that presence crashes against your mind. You realize that that's not a person, it's a leg. It's an image projection. And the spider's above you.
Oh, shit. Shago, get away from that thing.
It is literally feet from you, and you have your initiative against its.
Quick draw.
Yeah. Grab it from the token page.
I rolled an 11.
Let's say that seems a little better.
Yeah, that's like strangely small for a 12-meter spider. Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah, no, there it is. It's humongous. All right, you guys see it? You can go first. It has a weird, shiny, black chitin. Anyone who's using laser-based weapons?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Not good.
I do have a laser-based weapon, but I'm currently about to use the shotgun pistol first.
Its defense value is a 24.
Okie dokie.
No, sorry, 25 on this one.
Ooh, auto miss on the first.
Yikes.
Boom.
And for 116, you said minus.
Yeah, just take the 82, add 25 to it, and that
Yeah.
comes out to a 107, so it's a hit.
Yep, still good. All right, 40 damage. Eat it.
That opens up. And I've put in the minus 24 into my macro. So.
25.
Oh, 25 you said.
Yeah.
Sorry. I will adjust. 25. Alright, so he unleashes 10 rounds full auto. Find my macro. There it is.
Django standing in front of this thing while you just see tracer rounds rip across the opening above you, hoping none of them plug you in the process, because that gun hurts.
Well, it'll be what it'll be.
And then anyone else can take shots too, because Thud's gonna have to add those together and hand that to me when he's done.
Yep, I'll just get my calculator here.
Oh, hey. Looks like we might have a Clavis.
Oh,
Hey, you made it.
So go ahead and take your shots. Anyone else who's taking them? That would be Nurse. That'd be Beans.
Welcome, buddy. We're in the middle of a fight with a spooter.
Oh, Beans, how do you miss that?
How do you miss twice, Beans? How do you miss twice?
Shotgun.
With a shotgun. How do you put both of those shots into Django?
I thought he
Gotta
was
be
shooting
hit.
straight up.
And go.
He's not shooting at the leg. He's shooting straight up. There's above us.
Yeah, it's above. There's a chance you hit Django.
It's ricocheting off of the chitin and down on top of us. It's freaking slug rain.
Oh, that's almost an automatic miss.
It's just like. Oof.
That total
That is
Tim
not
is 269.
269. You can type it out into the field too, so I can see it.
Okay.
I only hit once. For
And
equal
we are
damage.
right. This creature is too large for us to actually be hitting Django in the back, so don't worry. Unless you were using something of equal size.
I was gonna say it's kind of silly for you to be wasting your shots on a single leg.
Go for the giant
buckshot.
body!
Buckshot just went around the legs.
Somehow you fired both barrels. One went left, one went right, and they like reconverged on the other side to clock me.
Anybody else gonna get total damage from Nurse?
8.
8. Ping!
I only hit once.
Can you let me quick grab my Derringer real quick?
Jeez beans, you mind crushing?
Yeah, threw Mind Crush out there. That's the best he's ever done.
Alright, mind crush. Resistance, maybe. Intelligence is a 25. I rolled a 55.
That's a pass.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a pass.
52%'s a pass.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
That's a
nice.
fail.
He made it.
Woot, woot.
Beans got it there.
Go.
And its intelligence went down by 2 points, and so its intelligence is a little bit less now.
Even better.
This will be the time.
The creature rears in pain as just massive amounts of viscera pour from its body. The chitin is exploding off in chunks as all these rounds sink into it. Django, with as close as you are, all this blood pooling around you and spilling out all over the place. You feel fortunate that none of it's toxic.
There we go. We at least got that going for us. You said none of it was toxic?
Yeah, so the first thing it does is it tries to crush your brain, Django, because you're closest. Type C, intelligence-based hazard check.
Yeah, okie dokie.
As it tries to break your will.
Type C.
Yeah, int-based.
Alright, well, here's go. Open. Nope. They got me.
All right, all it's done is manage to implant a seed of pain and fear in you. So it's just projecting what it's feeling into you. So this just means you need to make a type C willpower save, and if you fail at this, you're going to try to preserve your life. You're taking a morale save, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And if preserving your life means emptying all of
Made
your
it.
rounds into its body, that's preserving, you know? It's
Made it.
up to you how you play that out. Okay.
Oh no.
So you're able to
Look
shake
at
it
that
off.
worst case scenario, I was gonna just draw my stun pistol and zap myself to feel something different.
Ha! Ha, ha, ha.
Fuck this! Zzz.
Alright, I'm good. Shake my head. I don't like it. Stay out of my head, bug.
Stay out of my head!
Alrighty. Claffers want to get a shot on him? Anybody in melee?
Who are we
Classes?
shooting at?
We're shooting at a Arachnox, the Dreadweaver. Is a monstrous, freakish horror spider that was inside the Undercity of Overpass, or not Overpass, of the Great Ruins. It's hiding out in a tunnel.
Frick is it with spiders?
Because I love spiders. This one doesn't do ninja stuff. It's not a karate spider.
Okay, because I first, like we talked about, I appreciate your understanding me being late.
You're
So where in relation to me would this critter be?
Oh, it's basically right over Django.
Oh, there it is. Oh,
yeah.
it's down below. Okay. If I move up to it, I don't want it to get.
Oh no, yeah.
down.
This is just, you don't have to worry about like where your location is in relation to it. This thing is 12 meters across. It's occupying a whole area of this underground tunnel system, where it's just kind of standing over Django. It tried to trick him with image projection that one of its forelimbs was a female.
Let me roll here. Let's see what I got.
Tried to do that whole thing with going in with a battle axe.
Ooh.
I think I missed.
Yeah, probably missed with an 83. Oh, that's right. We didn't actually go into your character sheet and make the adjustments to those that sheet at all. That's fine. We'll fuck with that some other time. And this thing again reared back. It got into Django's mind. It projected its emotions into it, but he didn't fail the morale save. And it comes down on Django with its massive mouth and attempts to bite.
I'd appreciate you didn't.
It's gonna miss. 94 is it's gonna miss.
I will fall flat prone as it snaps its teeth. Nope.
On either side of you comes down. It's two of its forelimbs that are shaped like massive scorpion claws. The first one tries to snap at you and take you from the side.
Nope.
What's your defense value?
He's gonna probably hit. Let's see. Current DV is 56.
Yeah, it's a hit. So we have a strike value of 110. And so this claw comes in and snaps around you, and it does a crushing amount of damage. What kind of armor are you wearing?
I think it's only breastplate and leather.
It's metal? Okay.
Was metal.
Well, it's only 17 damage, though.
Oh, out of 100 possible?
Oh, sorry, plus 8. So 25. Because this just nails you and knocks you about. The other one comes in and attempts to do the same thing and crush the shit out of you.
Did you upset the GM?
Misses.
Off screen?
Always.
Every day.
That's my sole function in life.
I also make an android character, so yes.
Ugh. You egg-sucking piece of trash.
So it just glanced off of you. You're able to get away. These claws are monstrosities. It would have severed you in half had it actually got hold of you. At the same time, its thorax rises up and a globule of webbing rockets across the space and tries to hit Thud.
Okay. What kind of DV should I be looking for? Just agility, or?
Yeah, this is a throne, so this is your armor and your agility.
Okay, what have I got here? Does my ballistic at all count?
No, not for this.
All right, so
this just has to touch you. Okay, yep. That's a hit. You are nailed with a stack of webbing.
Mm-hmm.
You're entangled for 2d6 rounds.
Yeesh.
You can still do stuff though.
Okay.
So you're entangled for 7 rounds. As it just gooifies you. You fight at a negative 30 strike value, and you are plus 30 strike value easier to hit, and you move at half rate. So you're not bound up.
All right.
I'll put that chat. So not great, but not bad. The creature leaps back away from Django after attempting to basically rip him in pieces, and is fleeing down one of the non-commercial streets. It moves at 13 meters a turn and is very fast as it attempts to skitter away.
How far does it get away?
13 meters.
So I will, sticky or not, attempt to shoot it.
So for the purpose of your strike, let's do a new initiative, see who can get this.
Yep.
All right.
You guys are going first because Django's base bonus is higher than that.
We don't know
Far
that
higher.
for a fact. Yeah, it's only 15. You're fine.
Yeah. It has
Obviously
no
better
initiative
initiative.
bonus. Yeah.
I'm gonna yell at one of the Skullocks to start cutting Thud free. You said it was 13 meters away?
Yep, 13 meters away. This is just trying
Yeah,
to
hell
run
with
towards
this.
one
I'm
of its tunnels.
burying shots. I am actually going to say fuck it. I know that it's likely going to potentially ricochet, but I'm going to whip out the laser pistol as well and start with the shotgun pistol. So 1 hit for 30, 2 hit for 27, and let's see about laser pistol. Because I believe it's what, 45% chance to ricochet?
Let's check with the...
Auto hit with the pistol.
50% chance, so roll a d100 and 1 to 50 deflects off of it.
Yeet!
Yep, hits
Never
it.
have been happier to find a higher number.
Yeah, that's right.
Cauterize that web hole closed.
Oh,
So,
right in the web
44.
hole.
I knew a girl. I knew a girl. We called her Web.
Oh no.
I gotta hear this story.
She gets her sticky goo on you.
Yeah, I'll wait till we're off YouTube and I'll tell you the whole story.
Oh no.
Hang on, that doesn't seem right for my strike value. Oh, I didn't hit tab, that's why. Alright.
Anyone
now
else
it
making
should
attacks gotta drop those dice now too.
be- So let's try this again.
You
Bean's
took in
trying to
both of
tickle
the
its
shotgun
brain.
shots, right, Timmy?
Yeah, I put him in.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, 57.
Yeah, I looked away at the wrong time, so I didn't see the bar rating.
Oh, wait, I should probably put that down.
Then go ahead and do
So-
your totals and then plug them in.
Those first two would have hit. 3 shots, 4 shots, that'll hit. That'll miss.
3 first
damn it.
hits.
Best damage roll yet, and it misses. Damn it.
Misses.
That one hit.
Hits.
Django, I think these shells that reloaded are a little bit. I think you used bad powder.
Oh, that one definitely missed.
How dare you?
And I think this is the last one.
Grab 2 of them off my
That's true.
belt.
So let's see.
33 damage in total from me.
33 damage. Thank you.
36.
36. I love the minus feature on Roll20 where you just click on the bubble and just hit minus whatever the number is and it does it for you.
I don't want to test that.
Little mini calculator.
So like you just type it into the bubble for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, plus or minus.
Yeah, nice. That is helpful.
Oh god, I didn't know you didn't know that.
I did not.
I've known
Never
that for
really paid
years.
that much attention. Yeah, I never really paid attention to it. I just always just did the math.
Is
and
Beans
then
touching its brain
possibly-
again?
No.
Yeah.
No?
So-
Okay, I already dropped it.
100 points less damage this time, 167.
167.
Had 4 misses out of 10 shots.
Although maybe I should have. But I'm not letting another one die.
And Django not knowing what that happened, she's just like, at least don't hurt so much now. Maybe I'm getting better in my old age.
The creature flees around a bend at 26 meters, just moving as quickly as it can out of the range of the fire.
That's a little tiny thing on its health flag.
Yeah, that's a little bit left, and it's managed to get around a bend to break that line of sight.
No,
You
Colonel
have-
takes a shot with a 50 cal.
Boom!
As it's running away, he comes to the other side.
Not today, I'll call you.
I'm lining it up. I aimed all last round. You know what? Rule it cool. Do it.
Yes. No.
I don't know. With the plus
The
on
99.
50 cal.
All right,
Yeah.
50 cal sniper plus 70 for aim.
Yep. So that'd be a 2. 27
Yes.
total. I think that's
I
a
think
hit.
That's a hit.
That might be a hit.
3d20 plus.
Yeah, that'll
Ooh.
do it. That'll do it.
64.
There's a chance it got away, but you
Boom.
took that chance away from it. As it
Nobody
tries to
hurts
make
my
that.
brother.
Yep. It tries to
just
take
telling
that corner, and just a thunderclap issues out after a long chain gun explosions and report from Thud's gun, and that nails it in the body, rips through its head, and the creature just drops to the ground dead. There is still a mind in there, though.
Oh shit.
Beans, you can feel it. It's panicked. It is in pain, but it's still projecting.
Parasite?
Since I don't know no better, I'm gonna keep walking towards its body.
Yep, Beans will pack you up.
Oh, bitch.
We can still be friends, Giant Spider. We can still be friends.
Track the disembodied brain inside it.
Wait, you saying it's still thinking? Like looking
Still
at Beans
alive.
as we're walking. Oh,
It ain't dead.
oh, we gonna fix that in a minute. Come up to its face.
So its head is covered in 8 eyes, each of them a sheen of purple intelligence. And you can tell it's looking at you. It's immobilized, but it's looking at you. Its mandibles are softly moving, clicking. Body fluids are rapidly leaving it.
I'm leveling my shotgun pistol at its face.
Wait,
Do whatever you're gonna do, Beans, otherwise
I
it's
rolled a
not
dominate.
forever.
Beans, try to find where its mind is.
Oops.
Yeah, take that
one's
first
better.
one.
Take
Oh, yeah, I'll take the first one.
In the thorax, it has a reserve mind.
Aha.
Thorax. Ah.
it. It's got a mind in its ass. That's hilarious.
Well, you know what they say, sometimes it's got a mind of its own.
And so it do. So what's the play here, Beans? I slowly try to put a cigarette in my beak. Mm. You want me
I
to
don't
kill it? Or are we gonna talk to it?
Does it talk? Can I talk to it? Sort of mind state?
It is very alien. The emotions are complex. They're more than an animal's, but they're
Oh, wait a minute.
they're not anything like yours. It
I
is
don't know if it
very
speaks
old,
this.
though.
It may not speak this. I start trying to speak praying mantis to it. How did he teach me that damn moving word again?
So you're literally watching that moment when something dies, when it's just going through all of its memories. And this creature remembers a time. You were able to see that imagery when all of the buildings around here were whole.
This
Think-
is mind blowing.
No.
Has no concept.
You're watching these massive monoliths go up into the sky. You're watching them being built. You're watching them fall down. You're watching rains of fire coming down and scorching the landscape. And then the long, quiet dark. And the subsistence, the survival, the hunting.
So this thing was around. Wow. Okay. Interesting.
This thing is easily over 1,000 years old.
So I'm not really sure. What is the for the setting? What is the timeline for the setting?
Most people don't
Are
know.
we? Oh, right. Sorry.
They have no idea when the world fell,
Yes.
Could be
At
hundreds
least
of years ago.
thousands old. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Lots of theories.
How much into the negatives is it? Is it like
Negative
just
18.
dying? Yeah. Okay. So it's dead.
Yep. Its primary brain is dead.
All right. Well,
What's the play? Am I ending that second one or no?
he'll offer a modicum of comforts emotionally. Feeling of, regrets, unfortunateness. And then he'll put its reserved mind to sleep with his own mind.
Gotta cradle it into the grave.
Yeah. It was an unfortunate creature.
Circular life, I suppose.
So as the creature slowly slips into oblivion, you're seeing some of its earliest memories. It's a wide tank, human hands, and a small spout providing it food. The creature is minuscule at this time, as the human is gigantic. And it can barely perceive it in the resolution of its natural environment. And then it dies.
Oh, it was a pet spooter.
Ends there.
And then you get experience.
I would say
Yeah.
he's experienced a lot in that moment, but
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna need a little time alone after this, guys.
No.
How heavy would that head be?
Probably for 30, 40 kilograms.
It might be best to bring it to town so they at least know that this thing is dead.
You have a lot of witnesses that also say it's dead.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, now look at Beans, basically cuddling it.
He's
I
just
mean-
crying, just going through it again.
I mean, maybe we let Beans work this out first, but, the head could probably be worth some pretty decent money.
Is there
You know
anything
what?
in the
It's your-
policy?
Yeah, you know what? It's your pet, Beans. You tell me what you want to do with it.
Oh, it's a giant fucking goddamn monster.
I'm gonna see if I can try to pop this rib back into place.
I don't think there was ever negotiating with this thing.
Okay then. Yeah, time to bust out the razor sword. Check on everybody, make sure everybody's good. Did somebody cut Thud out that damn web?
He's just glued to the top of the dune crawler.
There's a Skalak there with just a machete trying to just take pieces of it off of you. They're just trying to just get it away from your body. Get all
Yeah,
gummed up.
I'll help try to tear it away.
Like he's tilting left and right to just be like, over here. There we go.
Probably got enough strength he could bust out of that real easy.
Oh yeah.
Just a pure strength hazard check.
Yeah. So it
Oh,
does.
60 experience.
Yeah, 60 experience each. A big old
Yeah.
spider, bro.
Yeah.
And down he goes.
Yeah, that's the problem with a big party.
Yeah.
You can get all your experience from loot.
Yes. Anyone do any healing? Because I don't think we did any healing last time.
I'm good. I'll heal up a little bit on the way back.
Yeah, I'll still patch up.
I gotta get
I
up
need the
this armor,
experience.
though. Yeah, help yourself. I'm gonna try to break off my breastplate as best I can. What do you think, Timmy? Is it basically beyond salvage at this point?
I mean, it's got a dent in it. Just needs to be knocked out.
Okay. I wonder if I can get somebody at town to knock this dent out my rib while we at it.
You need to take one of the. Oops, sorry.
I don't think that punctured a lung yet.
The ribs are lower for he'll buff out.
That's fine.
That'll be fun. It's slow going, walking pace with this huge monstrosity of a dune crawler making all the noise that it does. You know that you're going to have to camp out here in the Grey Ruins at least one night. The Skullocks are already starting to look for areas that are probable campsites. The sun is getting lower in the horizon line, casting long shadows across all of the roads. And the advance party that was scouting ahead, making sure that the trail was safe, doesn't come back on its normal checkpoint.
Hell.
Good.
Struggle to light my cigarette. Alright, I'm gonna go look for him.
So go with.
No, thank you. I'd appreciate worst case scenario you can drag my sorry carcass back. Alright, I'll start trying to track them once we get to the general idea of where they used to be.
You come to a commercial district. Some of the old billboards are still visible. Not all of the paint has been completely bleached off in areas that are permanently underneath the under a shadow. There's not a lot of plant life in this area. A lot of it's been stripped clean by herbivores or other creatures that are kind of maintaining the space and keeping it open. You also notice, with just a cursory look, that on the ground floor, a lot of the buildings have been burned out. You see the blackened marks of propellant having been used on maybe recently to burn away whatever was there or standing there or defending there or growing there. There's no sign of the half Skullocks in the area, though anyone could have moved through it. So I'll need perceptions or tracking checks for who's on this little four-way forward, this little forward advance party.
What kind of tracking you figure I should do? Pick up trail?
If you're looking for the Skullocks themselves, yeah.
I'll start by identifying species of prey for the area to see.
You gotta find something first.
Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and start with the pickup trail then. Yep.
So Thud probably doesn't see anything with his Type C perception check. Just what is already visible. Django, you pick up the trail of the Skullocks, and they get to an intersection. Just a pedestrian crossing area. And then they just...
Once I pick that up, though, I would like to actually teach Thud a little bit so that he can see how it's done. Because he seems like, you know, he's a brick shithouse, but if he can get this kind of technique under his belt, he'd be damn near crazier.
So give me that scene.
Yeah. Alright, Thud, you looking at the immediate threat. That's good on you. Now, this is what I want you to learn. Like, you see how soft this area is right here? Caught just a tail bit of foot. Now, you remember when you see some of them other Skulllock boys, what they've been wearing. This looks a lot like that kind of footprint. As I'm gonna just continue to go over some of the more subtle intricacies about it. Stop when I can see if his eyes get glazed over.
How does Thud respond to that?
I forgot that I had my mic muted. Thud's grunting back. And he's got like one eye screwed shut and one eye extra wide, and he's trying to scrutinize what being pointed out by Django, and nodding his head like he understands, but he totally doesn't.
No problem. We take some time. I help teach you. He'll become second nature to you later.
Okay. I'd like.
Are there any other prints on the ground?
Yeah, you come to a crumbling Jersey barrier where the two half Skullocks had defended from, or hidden. They had crouched at this spot, and then they had vaulted over onto hard concrete on the other side. That doesn't leave any real tracks behind.
Yeah.
You can see where they disturbed some of the dust at the top of their hands. You can see a little bit of the moisture left over that just discolored a bit of the very thirsty stone. And bent blades of grass, disturbed stones that are showing their dark side. So they saw something. Looking out over the area, you have a little pedestrian bridge right in front of you that is casting a long shadow towards you. And it opens up into what would have been maybe an open-air bazaar, about 2 street lanes wide, buildings crowding in on either side of it, with just old washboard posters depicting individuals wearing whatever was the height of fashion during the fall.
Alright, I guess at this point I'm going to have to start proceeding forward, taking a rough estimate of their direction.
Thought as you looking over and paying attention to what Jungo just showed you, you notice a small shell casing on the ground, just in the grass, just on the other side of the Jersey barrier. Still muted, Thud?
Thud, you still muted?
I just disconnected and reconnected. So what was that?
So
There we go.
just as you were vaulting, like Jenga was going over the Jersey barrier just to follow along with the half Skullux tracks, you were paying attention to what Jenga was teaching you, and you noticed that there was a small shell casing in the grass just on the other side of the Jersey barrier. What do you do with it?
I'm just gonna go pick it up.
It's a 5.56. When you pick it up, you notice that the powder residue comes off on your fingers. It was recently fired.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that the casing itself has been used and shot several times, and the blasting cap is one of those that is made out of overpass.
Does this look like something that the half Skullux would have been using?
Definitely.
Okay, I call over to Django. Hey, found something.
No, backtrack. Is this shell casing?
Yeah, recent use.
So
How many relic weapons did we have on the Skullux? I want to say only like 1 or 2 of them had one, right?
Yeah, they didn't have too many.
Assault rifle type. Interesting. Also, like looking at the ground to see if there's any more.
You don't see any other ones.
Also interesting that they only snapped off 1 shot.
Mm.
I'm gonna take a closer look to see if there's any potential like wing buffets. Because this area is relatively open, yeah?
Yep, pretty open.
Taking a look for any indications of like wings having buffeted the ground as if they got snatched up by something.
So when you get down to that spot again, they kind of see from the area where the shell had fallen, you get an idea of what the shooter's angle of sight would have been, what their sight picture was. If you're concerned purely with directionality, there's a old commercial building with all of its windows blown out. That is your pretty obvious projection point. It's very dark in there with the sun being down and casting everything in reds and blacks. You can't see into it at all, and the sun wouldn't have been much higher in elevation when the scouts had passed through this area. But it does seem like they were far enough ahead of you that whatever shot they made did travel back its noise to you. Could have been baffled by all the buildings around here scattering the noise in different directions. But if they took a shot, it was definitely in that direction.
I'm torn between trying to see what they shot at or find out where they went. Alright. What do you think, Thud? We try taking a look at what they pock shots at, head back, or should we try to find them?
Need find. More important.
That's a good point. Before I got to the concrete, Was there any indication of how many tracks got to the concrete?
2 half Skullocks, so the 2 scouts themselves.
Gotcha. So they both
Nothing
made
else
that
following.
far at least.
Yeah, they both made it.
Yeah, that was my question, was whether or not one got away and then the other got murked. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep following the Skullocks trail first and foremost.
Well, it disappears onto the concrete the moment you cross over to that area. There's nothing there. So unless you range the whole area to try to find where to pick them back up again, you'll need a lot more people to make that faster. But even where you're here looking around, nothing's take a shot at you. And the area seems clean for approach.
Are there any other areas in the direction that they were traveling? Because I know that they went over at a certain spot. So if I calculate like a straight line from that, is there any other area that looks like it would be conventional for cover?
All of the buildings could be used as cover, though to some degree or not. But none of them really have good line of sight and where you're positioned right now.
Because I'm trying to think of what would be the most logical direction they would travel. If they were in a blind panic, the first impression would be just straight ahead.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess we're gonna have to get the others if we're gonna try to find these kids faster.
Okay.
Does you want to run on back?
Yeah, I'd do that.
Alright, appreciate you.
So the caravan moves up to the area, and the Skullocks busy themselves with moving the Jersey barriers out of the way, and just again widening the road so they can fit the horses and the dune crawler through.
While they're doing that, I'll be looking around at some of the buildings. Not going too far in, like somewhere where I'm still in sight of the group.
Anybody else? Nurse, Beans, Claffus?
Yeah, I'm going to take a look at the buildings as well, cautiously.
Yeah, Bean's gonna go around and do a little bit of healing on people who need it.
A little bit of healing touching.
Yeah, he needs a hug. Good cover.
If Beans can't get them all full, I'll definitely do some healing with medic, because I'm needing to level it up.
Patching people.
Yeah.
Yeah, bandaging up wounds. Because the Skullocks themselves, just through traveling, are taking minor injuries, twisted ankles, scrapes and whatnot. So you definitely have plenty of... you're plying your trade in those ways of just doing literally nursing.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, field medic care. So if you're all going in separate directions, are you trying to kind of range in on something together?
Well, I'm not saying I'm going by myself. I'd like to never split the party, right?
Yeah, I think effectively we're not splitting, but like splitting in areas where we can still see each other.
Okay.
As I checked, this is a relatively like large open area as far as past that Jersey barrier.
That's a great idea.
And in the open area, you find nothing. Again, just hard concrete.
Yeah, that's why I'm just
and burn
walking
marks
around that and looking.
A lot of burn marks.
You said there was burn marks. Did I check to see exactly how recent they were?
Yeah, you get down and take a look at it. So now, if you have any chemical tech, this is automatic. If you don't, it's gonna take an intelligence check. Okay.
I have 1 point of chemistry.
This is a petroleum-based fire. That's a weapon. Did this. Not Molotov cocktail, not wood, not just clearing out some brush. This was a flamethrower. And a very hot one.
Comical look over at Sancho, who's just sitting there staring up at the sky, blinking one eye with like his pinky up his nose. Eh? What? Nah.
The concrete turned white in some spots. The lime coming up to the surface and actually oxidizing. They've gotten very hot. Some spots, the concrete even cracked.
Somebody's done some damage. It's a lot of fire, scorch marks, flamethrower most likely.
Judging by the amount that was cleared, and that's the only thing that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, is that the height of the thing that would have been wielding this flamethrower would have been sitting at the way Sancho holds it, probably at his waist. This thing should have been 3 meters tall.
Whatever we looking at, it's tall as hell.
I'd say maybe real dragon, fire breathe dragon. Other dragon we kill, not breathe fire.
I like the ones in them picture books.
Yeah, stunting pictures.
Honestly, I hope you're wrong, but if you're right, it'd be a hell of a story. Make sure somebody gets back to tell it.
So you got that one building where the shot was probably taken at.
How close, or what is the proximity of the shot?
Right
that
on the
was,
road.
Like, to the area that was burned up as well?
Yeah, the whole area is. The whole first floor of the entire street is burned up.
And that's the where it looked like the 5.56 round was being shot too?
Yeah, in one of the buildings. That's also burned up just like all the others. And it's,
well,
again,
let's
it's,
take a look.
It's not
the only
ancient.
clue I got.
It's not new. Wasn't done today.
Yeah.
You'd still be feeling heat coming off of it, considering the power of that flamethrower.
Alright.
Beans. You think they kept something flammable here?
That's a strong possibility. You know, oil, gas, people.
They all burn.
Exactly. Enough heat applied to them.
In fact, I think we make oil out of people.
No. Let's say we take a look in this building. All I know is that they were pocketing shots at it. Maybe see if they hit some kind of indicator.
So into the building through the first entranceway, which is a door with a half circle opening. You come in, there's several columns down at the base level holding up a superstructure above you of steel I-beams that support another concrete roof that go on and on and on. There's a lot of debris on the ground in here. Just garbage. Old plastics that haven't fully broken down but are too small to be useful for anything. Bits and pieces of twisted metal that have been burnt and slagged into little piles. And you smell blood as you finally enter into this room. It's pretty thick, and it's probably about an hour old. You've done enough killing in your times already that you know what old blood smells like.
See if I can find the obvious blood point.
There's a little bit of spatter towards the entrance, and it is arterial. Anybody with medic knowledge sees that instantly. It's dark and spurted.
Spurt.
Start looking around, see if I can follow any more tracks for it. See if whatever it was either got drug off or if it limped off in a different direction.
Who follows them?
Start to follow.
I'll put my hand down and actually draw my shotgun pistol out as I'm following these tracks this time.
You go through a doorway into another room. This one seems to be an old floor of a factory. Some ancient sweatshop. Sewing machines are all over the grounds here, discarded or heaps and piles, along with chairs, tables, along with just old rotted piles of cloth. And the lower torso of a half Skullhawk, with his organs scattered all over the ground, physically torn in half.
Beans comes in behind them, looks at the Skullhawk. I don't think I can fix that one.
Look left, right, look up, trying to find any like indicator of something in this room that did it to him.
Room's dark, only failing red lights filtering through a few windows.
Beans feel anything with his mind?
Nothing. Just the people outside working, some aggravation from the half Skullocks of moving large concrete barriers. Normal.
Well, either way, this is only one Skullock. What happened to the other boy? What do y'all say? We keep going or we regroup?
No, keep going, I guess. Just as long as we are within earshot.
Yeah.
I think active PCs proceed and inactive PCs with NPCs stay back.
Yeah. If anything, I'll have Sancho bring this half or part of the body back out with them so that they can try to identify what tore through him. You know what I mean? Like, was it clean cut, rough hewn? Like, does it look like a tear?
Oh yeah, I mean, you could tell already. He was torn physically in half.
Right.
There was no cutting weapon used here. There was no blade.
Just raw force on
Raw
two opposite
force.
ends in
Yeah.
two different directions. Okay.
Torn
Well,
like
that can
rotted
stay
claw.
where it is.
But there ought to be some marks on the body, how it was gripped to tear it apart.
Yeah,
Someone's-
like clamps.
One of the medics, take a look.
Hmm.
There's a medic in the group that's advancing along.
Yes.
Yeah. You mind taking a look at this, nurse? To give you an idea what gripped this end of this Skullock?
No problem.
Nurse, type B intelligence check.
You roll one too, because I'm a medic.
Yeah. Claphus, type B. You might have gotten that as a type B.
Yeah, probably did.
Ugh, no, I didn't get it.
And I did, which is
Yeah,
somehow
81%.
Yep.
Yeah. You were 2% shy of it, Claphus.
Yeah, that was such horseshit.
You got robbed. All right. You do see clamps that are around the upper part of the torso. They are 3 of them, 1 on the backside, 2 on the front side, kind of like a gripping claw. They're angular, not organic.
interesting.
Hmm.
Rocco's been here.
Rocco's been here. We found him.
Ha! Ha ha ha.
That's weird. He get himself an extra lobster claw. or something.
Finally happened. He went haywire.
Not a good wire type. Hey.
So what do you do that
Works
you know
at least
this?
once.
Todd, do you say that out loud? Looks robotic.
Yeah, I'd say looks robotic. I'd seen robots before.
That's a strong possibility. Highly doubt there's some other critter out here that's got this kind of claw marking. Most of them have them pincers like the ones that got me.
Zed points a pinky at Beans and says, "Green brain would sense other than robot."
That's a good point.
I don't think there's anything else here. Robots aren't the same as people.
Let's say we keep on pressing then. Maybe the other one got away. Maybe it's hunkered down somewhere. You said the
Can't
room is
help.
basically dimly lit by just like red klaxon lights.
No, failing light from outside because it's getting closer to dark.
Beans has a lantern.
Zed switches on his headlamp.
Yeah. I'll squeeze on my lantern as well, in case we have to split up slightly.
going from the factory room, you come over to a large warehouse with all of the old structures still inside, collapsed in on each other, so that the center area is mostly just a jumble of old boxes, storage containers, rotted wood, and plywood. What are those called? Pallets.
Pellets. Right.
And twisted wireframes. There is a hulking shadow that is casting a slight pale blue glow, and it has something in either of its hands, and it's ripping chunks of it off. It's about 20 meters away, and it's kind of crouched on the ground, just pulling these things off of it and tossing them aside. It sounds
That
wet.
no good.
I think we found the other Skylock.
I think it's time to leave.
Generally pointing at Beans. That sounds like a pretty good opinion.
I choose life.
Maybe we can.
Probably wise.
Yeah, let's see if we can tiptoe away and not piss it off.
So you
Seems we have our opinion of nope.
yeah, we're good. We're good. He's
We've
dead.
dealt with one giant monster already.
Okay, you're able to take silent actions or silent
Oh
move.
shit, that's right.
Yep, it's a skill.
You keep that sphincter fucking tight.
I don't have stuff.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Roll really low then.
He didn't eat today, we're okay.
Yeah. Oh no!
That would be hilarious. Take one step.
Oh
yes.
man, yeah. Oh, what is this? Everyone's just acing this check.
And
Oh, come on.
Sneaky bastards.
Which check was it?
Even Django gets it.
Stealth.
Agility, okay.
You oh man. Clappus is the only one left to roll it. And Clappus rolls in with a critical one, with a 1%. Wow.
Clappus is the knight.
Damn.
that was impressive.
And you just slip away from whatever the fuck that is. Like, and don't deal with it. Avoid that encounter completely. Like, oh, they're dead. We're not getting them back.
Perfect P. Because that was awesome and cool.
Like, we're not doing this. It's not happening. I respect it.
Just slide back into the shadows without moving our legs.
Yep. And yeah, you do not have to fight the heavy combats.
Yeah.
Plural.
Yeah, plural.
God. Yeah, I was looking at those stats.
Yeah. There they are. I was ready with them.
That's disgusting.
That would have been what was coming in next. One of them was gonna jump. Yeah. And you walked in, one was gonna jump down from behind. It's like, exterminate.
Not today, Mr. Roboto.
Nope, not today at all. So nighttime is getting close. The Skullocks find an acceptable camp area where it's underneath an old overpass bridge, and they can keep the tank out of line of sight of all the critters and denizens of the Great Ruins. Set up a guard, surround it, and bunker down for a long evening inside the Great Ruins. And that is where we'll leave off for tonight. We will meet back up again in 2 weeks. Because so the 19th is going to be a bye week for us, and we will join back up again for game on the 26th.
Do you remember what the experience factors were?
Yeah, for the avoiding, 60 for the giant spider, and you still get experience factors for avoiding combat.
Nice.
Yep. You saw something, you're like, no, we're not fighting that. It's good. We're fine. We're not going to do it.
Did Colonel get it for his shot, or should we just say no?
Oh yeah, no, I added him in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he got it too.
Speaking, how many bullets does that gun have?
Oh, the 50 cal?
Yeah.
That
We
one
never hashed
had
that
a D6 plus 3. So that's 44 experience factors for those of you guys who avoided that combat with the heavy combats. Using your skills and keeping away from them. All you did was lost a couple Skullocks and, no potential loot from something that drops nerve gas as a weapon.
I've been fine. I got nerves of steel.
Yeah, no nerve gas for you. So that's the Mutant Epoch session number 14. And if you like the Mutant Epoch, you can pick it up at drivethrurpg.com from Outland Arts, along with all the other books. The free books are the Day 1 Digs, which I think there's 8 of them, maybe 9. And there's also, the game is also set up to be played solo, so we have Dog Days, which is a solo adventure. If you're interested in just playing the game by yourself and going through it, it's kind of like a on rails kind of adventure where you could read through and roll your stats up and make your decisions as you go through. It's a really good one. I actually really enjoyed it.
Nice.
And if you like Mutant Epoch, you like animations, we're doing those over on the Discord server, so I encourage anybody to kind of join us there and participate in that activity. I'm pretty much every free night I have, I'm doing something with that and building it up. And I hope to see more people over there and participating in that activity, and it'd be great to have you. So thank you for watching, and y'all have a good night.
Goodbye.